Do you also sometimes have too little time to practice the violin? We all recognise this sentence, and let's be honest, when did you last use this expression, I had too little time to practice the violin? In my teaching practice, I sometimes hear this sentence too. Sorry, this week I have had no violin practice. I have simply been too busy. Surprisingly, in their lessons, some players then go on to play extremely well and do much better than usual. But more often it's the case that people feel dreadfully guilty and wish they'd done some more practice. Sometimes even I have to put all my positivity towards these people and see if we can turn that negativity back into and give a positive spin on it. Time is highly elastic. We cannot actually make more time. I cannot give you more hours in a day, but we know that time will stretch to accommodate whatever we choose to put in it. And the key is treating your playing as a priority. Rather than using the expression, sorry, I didn't have enough time to play the violin, it would be better if we said, sorry, this week playing the violin was not my priority. And that's really more accurate language. Using this sort of language makes you realise that really having the time or not having the time is a choice of priorities. Most of the players I meet are highly intelligent people who have the power to fill their time with something of their choice and something that they find important. So how do we treat our priorities with the commitment they deserve? You might look at this as if it were a performance review, and you may have had performance reviews at work, for instance, where you looked back on the past year and decided about the things that went particularly well and also about the things that didn't quite go to plan. And if we do that with our violin playing, I would prefer, rather than looking back, to look ahead, look to the future and say, actually, in this year I would like to achieve X, Y or Z, and you can fill it in with your own individual goals, like you might want to get a grade that you have never done before, or you might like to join that orchestra that you have secretly been dreaming of you could one day join. Or even if you are more a starter in your playing, you might even say, I would love to play this piece without stopping. So I would say today, take a look at your diary for the next week and decide how much time you need to complete your goals, and start blocking out that time that you think you'll need to set aside for what you want to achieve. Because if you make it more of a priority, the goal is also easier to achieve. I think you might find with a few pointers, you might find the extra time to commit to your violin if you really want to. Let's face it, if we have got a couple of minutes to spare, what do we do? What did you last do when you had a couple of minutes to spare? Pull out the phone? Potter around the house a little bit? Start watching a TV show? You know what I mean. And my question is, do these activities really give you the sort of joy that achieving your goals might? You want to try and get organised, putting those little snippets of time to slightly better use. So looking at the whole of your schedule and decide where those little snippets of time might be had. So you might think, okay, this moment I was actually going to put the washing out, but actually would I be happier if I just played that scale? Or other things, you know what I mean, you can think of your own ideas. So you want to become a little bit more creative with those little snippets of time. When you focus on what really matters to you, it becomes easier to set aside specific time to reach those goals. You can also just leave your violin case open all the time and leave your books open on your music stand so that it actually becomes a lot easier to get out your instrument and play a little bit. And if you practice only 3 times 5 minutes in a day, it also adds up to 15, so they don't have to be long stretches of time, but you might do a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night as well. When you focus on what you really want to achieve, you can find those little snippets of time. You can also find your trajectory to success, to the goals that you really wanted to achieve. And anything less than that is really doing yourself an injustice, because you are worth investing the time. If that is what we want to achieve, set aside some time and you can do this. So many others have gone there before you, and I wish you good luck just mulling over your thoughts with this.